Hello and welcome to Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. This is our bonus video for the month of April. We asked you, the listeners, on our Facebook page to take a vote on several movies featuring animals, given that April is Earth Day month, and the winner of the poll was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. So we will take a look at how the movie was developed, along with why it was so successful. And if you are liking these movies, if you're liking these videos, please hit that subscribe button. That way you will be notified each time a new video is added. But for now, sit back and enjoy this week's episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, we are covering Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. The movie was released on February 4th, 1994, with it being directed by Tom Shadyac, written by Jack Bernstein, Tom Shadyac, and Jim Carrey, and the production company was Morgan Creek Productions and distributed by Warner Brothers. The budget for this movie was $15 million, and it did a box office return of $107.2 million.
Amazing!
So let's take a look at the development of the film. In the early 90s, CEO of Morgan Creek Production, James G. Robinson, wanted a broad comedy to be filmed for mass appeal. Gag writer Tom Shadyac pitched the idea for Ace Ventura, and Shadyac was hired to make his directorial debut with Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Originally, the title character of Ace Ventura was offered to Rick Moranis, but Moranis declined the role, and then other actors that were considered for the role were Alan Rickman and Judd Nelson. They even considered making Ace Ventura female by having it offered to Whoopi Goldberg. But that all changed when they saw the television show In Living Color and they saw Jim Carrey. Carrey also helped rewrite the script and was allowed to improvise most of his dialogue as well. So now that we look at the production, let's take a look at the cast. So we have Jim Carrey playing Ace Ventura, Courtney Cox playing Melissa Robinson, Sean Young playing Lois Einhorn / Ray Finkel, Tony Locke playing Emilio, Dan Marino playing himself, Troy Evans playing Roger Podacter, and John Capotas playing Aguado. So let's take a look at the plot. So he is the best, in fact, he is the only one there is. He is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Ace is on the case to find the Miami Dolphins' missing mascot Snowflake and quarterback Dan Marino. He goes eye to eyeball with a man-eating shark, stakes out the Miami Dolphins, and woos and wows the ladies. While he's undercover, under fire, or underwater, he always gets his man or beast. So the movie was highly successful. This is what kind of put Jim Carrey on the map. In order to promote the home video sales, though, a deleted scene was added for the movie. And this scene, if you remember the scene in the movie where the reporters are hoping to get a shot of Snowflake, Ace Ventura impersonates Snowflake's trainer and has a little comedic scene there. Unfortunately, current versions on Netflix and DVD do not contain this scene. The film, however, unfortunately has been criticized for its portrayal of transgender people. Alex Gosenberg Perkins wrote in his Representing Queer and Transgender Identity, says that Ace Ventura, along with The Crying Game, depicted transgender character as murderous villains. Also in the book Reclaiming Genders, in a chapter focusing on transgender identity, Gordine O. Mackenzie references Ace Ventura as an example of the turn-of-the-century films that illustrates the transphobia implicit in many popular U.S. films. Mackenzie goes on to describe the scene in which Ace Ventura retches in the bathroom following the revelation that the woman he had kissed is a transgender, as one of the most memorable and blatantly transphobic, homophobic scenes. My opinion on this, I get it. It has not aged well. I think, though, it's contained in the story in a way that makes sense, so it's not done for the sake of just making fun of transgender people. But I get why people have a problem with it. So the movie was so successful that they had two sequels that were filmed after the first movie. The first one, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, was a sequel starring Jim Carrey, where Ace Ventura goes to Africa to solve a mystery involving two feuding African tribes. A direct-to-video sequel called Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective was released in 2009, and where Ace Ventura is a child and he solves the mystery behind his mother being arrested for a crime she has been framed for. And then in the future, and there has been a confirmed that a reboot film has been confirmed to be in development in March of 2021, so just 2 months ago. It's supposed to be where Ace Ventura is handing off the reins to his son. However, Jim Carrey has stated that he's not interested in taking part in this project. There was also a TV series. Ace Ventura, the animated series, ran from 1995 to 2000, airing on both CBS and Nickelodeon. And several video games were also created based on the two films, starring Jim Carrey, as they appeared on LCD, handheld, and CD-ROM computer games. And then as well as the Jim Carrey Ace Ventura character was very memorable, so there was tons of parodies, as well as there were tons of memorable lines, almost catchphrases of this movie. Would I recommend this movie? I absolutely love this movie. I think the story is well done, and the acting of Jim Carrey is amazing. Like I said, this put Jim Carrey on the map. He became a huge star because of this movie. I think the movie is definitely rewatchable. I laugh every time I watch it. Certain jokes just get me every time, especially the scene where he's in the mental hospital. I think that's definitely a memorable one. The story is tight. Each scene is contributing to the story. There's not a lot of wasted time on this, which I am a big fan of. Courtney Cox and Sean Young's performances are also very memorable, and they add to the scene as well. I've already talked about the criticism of the transgender part. I don't think it ages well, but again, it's a small criticism. But overall, I definitely recommend this movie, as I think it's a comedic treasure, and it's definitely one that I recommend you guys should watch. Wow! So let's move on to our bonus story. So during the early days of Disney's MGM Studios in Walt Disney World in Florida, Disney would license other movie studios' characters to appear in the park in a variety of ways. One of the more unique character meet and greets was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, live on location. This was a short show and a chance for guests to get autographs and pose for photos with Ace Ventura. Morgan Creek Productions and Warner Brothers licensed the character as a way to promote not only Ace Ventura, but also Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. The show would debut on November 10th, 1995, and the show would take place near Ace Ventura's office located on the streets of America in MGM's Hollywood Studios. After a brief introduction by a cast member host, Ace Ventura would make his entrance by rappelling off of one of the roofs of the buildings and interact with the cast member host. Ace would form several of his famous lines and gestures from the movie, and then the host cast member would do a short interview with Ace asking about his experience in the second movie. Ace would then perform a small stunt show routine, swinging and rappelling from nearby buildings before swinging back into his office locations. Also, throughout the streets of America, there were backdrops from Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, where guests could pose for photographs, as well as sometimes Ace Ventura himself would do meet and greets and would pose for pictures and take autographs from his fans. The show did not last long. It only lasted until early 1996, and not a lot of information is available about why it closed. I assume it closed because, again, after Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Called did not do very well, there was really no need for the show to continue. But there is a full online version of the show that you can see. It's a handheld camera that was filmed during it, and you can kind of get a sense of what the show really was. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. Please leave a comment below about what you think of Ace Ventura Pet Detective. And if you were one of the few to see the Disney MGM Hollywood Studios show Ace Ventura live on location, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Was it a good fit for Disney? Be interested to start that discussion. So since this is our bonus poll video, I thought I would share the information about our next month's bonus poll. So the theme for next month is going to be live action movie based on cartoons. So the 5 choices for this month's bonus poll is The Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Yogi Bear, and Rocky and Bullwinkle. So please head over to our Facebook page and cast your vote for which movie you'd like to see featured on the show. In terms of our next video, we are going to continue our look on the movies featured on Disney Star as we take a look at the 2010 action thriller, The A-Team. But for now, hope you're having a magical day, and we will see you real soon. Have a great day.